What's going on, family? What's going on? What's going down? What's shaking? Welcome to Jonathan Souls Podcast. This is Jonathan Souls speaking now. I wanted to give you guys a quick video tutorial, an explanation of more like a journal, actually, of me recording my first audiobook. Now, I'm a born and bred podcaster. I remember doing the morning announcements when I was in high school. I remember having a radio program, music radio program when I was in college. And as soon as I got out of school, the first thing I looked for was an AM radio station to do a show at. Never, was able to get that done. But years later, I found out about podcasting. Anyway, I noticed, sometimes you ever heard this phrase, if you study wise people, you'll become wise. But if you study yourself, you become enlightened. I watched myself and I said, well, damn, I listen to audiobooks every night. I got a decent voice. I read kind of slow, but hey, why don't I do an audiobook? So I have this book on Amazon right now called Malcolm Mars. It's a sci-fi novel about three brothers who, because of a tragedy, they took their families in a homemade starship to Mars, built a civilization out there. And there's some intrigue and drama because they left some people behind and, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, well, damn, why not do an audiobook? So, I started working on this project and I've learned a lot. One, I learned that getting a studio sound is more important than building a studio. Sometimes when we embark on a new project, we think, well, damn, I got to buy this, that, and the other. And sometimes I think that's our mind trying to protect us from doing something new because there might be danger, disappointment, or whatever. Nowadays, all you really need is like one of these. You know what I mean? That sounds crazy, but really all you need is one of these. Now, the sound I'm getting right now is because I did a little investment. You can see this microphone right here, which is a ElectroVoice RE20. It's a historically a radio broadcast microphone. It's not something that I think maybe a lot of people might use for audio recording, but I love it. I love the sound. And, like I said, I worked at a radio station before, and because people's ears aren't as highly attuned as the sound engineers, you really don't need to spend a lot of money to record. So anyway, long story short, I bought this equipment, and I'm in an apartment, and sometimes, live in an apartment, live in the city, there can be noises, helicopters, things of that nature. And I needed something to kind of knock that low level noise down. And one of the things that really helped was this little baby. Oops. It's going to be backwards for me, but yeah, it's called a mic preamp, right? This is the DBX 286S. Hear that lisp? S. If I can do audiobook, anybody can. Mic preamp and processor. And so what it does, and the reason why I bought it is because it has what's called a noise gate. And what that noise gate does is all those little rumblings, like, I don't know if you can hear that, but, little kids running next door, cars driving by, on a wet street. I haven't tested against the helicopters that fly almost every other day, but it knocks a lot of that noise down. So even though I got the soundproofing here, and I got tiles, say, on the table here, I still don't have the ceiling treated. I don't necessarily have that wall treated. And what am I going to do about the windows? And so this kind of creates that studio sound. And let me tell you how dope this is. Oh, by the way, $200 on Amazon. Let me tell you how dope this is. All right. Now, right now, you're hearing me with the DBX 286 turned on. Now, I'm going to turn off the noise gate and the processing, and you can hear this. Listen to the room right now. Now, I don't know if you can hear the lamp, buzzing, or the TV, not TV, but the refrigerator vibrating back there. You know how that makes that humming sound? Now I'm going to turn off the processor here. Right button. Now, can y'all hear the difference? Now, I immediately hear the lamp that's sitting up top. There's somebody coming up the stairs now in the hallway. I don't know if y'all can hear that. And I don't know if y'all can hear the, refrigerator hums. But it doesn't sound as clean as it did before. And you can easily tell that the mic is hot right now. It's like really loud. Now, in order for me to achieve the kind of, sound that I did without the 286S, I would have to like heavily treat this room, or I'd have to like sit on a blanket, have a ton of blankets over top of me, that kind of vibe. Now I'm going to turn it back on. And I got to tell you, a brother did this on YouTube and I was sold. He did that shit where he had, you could hear the fan or the computer fan going, and you could hear, all the kind of shit, the streets, all that, man. So I'm in my dining room. You can't tell, but I got this stuff here, but behind, over to the left is the living room, and that's the window, and that's the kitchen. But I had that studio quality sound, at least to my ears. So if you guys plan on doing any kind of audiobooks or podcasting, whatever, I basically, another thing I recommend is there is a YouTube channel called, I think it's like ACX, which is Audible, like the audiobook company that Amazon bought. They have like a video training series on YouTube, free of charge, where they tell you basically, all the basics that you need to know to do audiobook. So I basically did everything the dude said. I bought the, I already had a computer. He didn't recommend necessarily a computer, but then I bought the mic, I bought the preamp kind of a thing, and I tried to treat my space or whatever. But I still wasn't getting that sound that I wanted. And so once I saw the video about this 286S, I was like, yo. But anyway, so I want to keep this short. I just wanted to say, hey, listen, if any of y'all are thinking about recording audiobooks, because let's face it, we live in a commuter society, at least in the West. People are always driving or they're riding someplace, and, they want to occupy their mind. And a lot of people use audiobooks, or some people like me, you want to listen to audiobooks to get to sleep. So this is an opportunity for you to create a product that people want and people need. So this is Jonathan Soul, jonathansoul.com. Go over to jonathansoul.com for interviews with artists and writers from the African-American global community about life and business. And these folks operate in the comic book and the sci-fi genre. All right. Also, you can grab my book, Malcolm Mars. Malcolm like the prophet, Mars like the planet. Three brothers take their families to Mars to escape the violence of racism of Earth. All right. Love you guys. Peace.